Hi, I'm Hazel. It is almost Saturday, so it's time for another vlog. This week, we have had WoW's 12th anniversary event begin, so that's going to be running in-game until the end of the month, I believe. And we're celebrating 12 years of WoW. That is an insanely long time for a video game to remain relevant. I've been playing WoW since the ICC patch, which was 7 years ago, so I've been playing continuously for 7 of those 12 years. And then, man, it's just kind of nuts to think about. Every now and then it's kind of fun to go back and think about like where you were 12 years ago, just because it's a long time. A lot can happen in 12 years, and WoW has certainly changed quite a bit. Yeah, it's kind of neat. So what else? We have patch 7.1.5 up on the PTR, so they finally got that up and running. They haven't released official notes for it because they don't tend to release official notes until quite a bit later, but the changes have been data mined by MMO Champion, and a lot of people, there's a lot of class changes in there. They've said that 7.1.5 is going to be a big point for major class tuning and talent changes. And the earliest versions of those changes have been data mined, and a lot of people are getting pretty upset because there's some drastic changes on there. The line from Blizzard on that topic is that they're kind of throwing stuff at the wall to see what sticks. Don't freak out just yet because there's going to be changing, but it's a different game. But they said the exact same thing about the Overwatch patch. Like the previous Overwatch PTR before the patch that just went live had some really crazy drastic changes, and they're like, oh, you know, we're just trying some crazy stuff and we're gonna see what works out. And apparently, I guess it all worked out because almost all of those changes went live. And yeah, so I don't really know what to believe, but I'm not too worried about it. Class balance has never really upset me, just because like, I trust them not to completely break the game to make it unplayable, and I'm not too fussed with exactly where I sit on the meters. I show up to raid, we kill bosses, it's a good time, but we're not a mythic raiding guild. I'm not cutting edge trying to squeak out that extra 7 damage per second. So I just do my best, and it's not gonna affect me. Like, I'm not gonna change specs because I can't, because Shadow's the only DPS spec as a priest. I'm not gonna change classes. I'm not gonna switch mains because they nerf me by 5% or 10% or whatever. It doesn't really matter. So I definitely feel for the people that are more invested in the tuning of their class, that are being adjusted heavily. I'm fingers crossed for you that it doesn't really ruin the game for you, but I don't think it's going to ruin anything for me, so I'm kind of excited. There's a lot of cool little stuff coming in the 7.1.5, that's hard to say fast, the 7.1.5 PTR. I wish we had a better name for that. Some of the things that have been data mined that I'm really excited about are they've data mined strings. There hasn't been an announcement yet, but there is info in the patch that points towards the WoW token, which currently, you know, you buy it for $20, you sell it on the auction house, and then you get a bunch of gold, and people use that for game time. There's been code pointing towards that being used for BattleNet balance. So you would theoretically be able to, with gold, purchase BattleNet balance for not just in-game shop mounts and pets and game time, but also Hearthstone packs, Overwatch loot boxes, whatever you buy in Heroes of the Storm, I don't really know. So you'd be able to use, like, for WoW Gold to get currency that you can use for in-game purchases across the other games. Of course, you cannot use BattleNet balance for Blizzard gear store purchases. The physical stuff is still money only. And I think that's really exciting because what that was going to do is it's going to drive up the price of the token a lot. So people that are buying gold legitimately, they're, you know, spending that $20 to get some in-game WoW gold because maybe they don't have as much time to play WoW, but they still want to be able to afford their raiding enchants. They're going to be getting a lot more gold for their money. And it means there's going to be an avenue for people who don't have a lot of money, who are on a very limited income but are still playing WoW, to maybe grind up gold for like a shop mount they've always wanted, but maybe they're really against giving Blizzard cash. Now somebody else can give Blizzard cash, and you can just spend gold for it. It's going to be a lot of gold probably, but I think it's a really neat thing for them to implement. And the other thing actually that BattleNet balance can be used for, I'm pretty sure, services. So realm transfers, name changes, appearance changes, faction changes, all that good stuff would be essentially purchasable with gold if that goes live. And I know a lot of people would be really on board with that. It would be really neat to be able to save up gold essentially for a faction change if you needed one. So that's kind of cool. What else happened this week? In my guild's raiding life, we have Heroic Emerald Nightmare down to like an hour and 10-minute clear now, so we have all this extra raid time. And now that Trials of Valor is out, we've been progressing on Heroic Trials of Valor now that we've full cleared normal Trials of Valor. Heroic Odyn, he was mean, he was hard, he was a very tough fight. We were progressing on him for what felt like a long time. And it was tough progression because it wasn't, like, the mechanics are easily understandable, and they're not terribly difficult to execute, although I will say it's hard to dodge. Like, there's a lot of orbs going out, and there's a lot of other things you're trying to do while the orbs are going out, especially as a multi-dot class. Like, I'm sitting there, and all of the rune ads are coming out, I'm trying to get dots on all of them, and I'm trying to dodge all the balls, I'm trying to, like, it's too much stuff. But mechanically, we had a pretty good handle on Odyn, but it was just, it's being able to push him fast enough and not losing people to dump stuff, and, but we killed him. That's the moral of the story. I was getting a little lost in thought there, but we killed Heroic Odyn. He dropped a Heroic Titan Forged ring, and it had strong stat haste, and they gave it to me, and it was just the best day ever. That's just like, that's my Christmas present. That's an amazing ring. It's like 880, I think. It's either 880 or 885. It's an amazing ring, and I'm gonna wear it until the end of time. But yeah, so Heroic Odyn's down. We did a little bit of progression Heroic Worm. He is nowhere close to as difficult as Odyn is. We didn't quite kill him, but not next week because of Thanksgiving, but the week following, I'm pretty sure we're gonna get him done. And then we have Heroic Helia, who I'm not looking forward to. I've heard Heroic Helia is just so hard. And that's the thing about Trials of Valor. It's been very, very difficult relative to the heroic difficulty of Emerald Nightmare. And we've been in Emerald Nightmare for so long at this point, not like a long time, but it's been so long since the previous raid tiers that I can't really tell if Emerald Nightmare was severely undertuned or if Trials of Valor is overtuned. I don't remember how hard heroic raiding used to be. I don't think it was this tough, but maybe it was. I don't really remember. I don't think we progressed through, I feel like progression in Blackrock Foundry took us a lot longer than progression in Emerald Nightmare did, but I don't really remember. But yeah, it's really satisfying clearing challenging content like that. I've never heard my vent so excited since at least like our heroic Blackhand kill that we were pretty excited about. But Heroic Odyn was he was the first boss of the raid. It wasn't like a final boss or anything. So yeah, what else happened this week? I want to give a huge shout out. You may have noticed this already, but I am sitting in a different chair. My IKEA Marcus chair. My husband, it's not gone. My husband's sitting in it. He's using it now because his chair was terrible. But I am sitting in a I think this is a human scale freedom chair. It's like an ergonomic task chair. And this was donated to me by some fans that live near me in Portland. So huge shout out to Greg and Ellen. This chair has saved my back. It is phenomenal. It fits me perfectly. And I don't really get antsy like I used to. Like at the end of a workday, I used to like be constantly getting up and stretching and sitting down and shifting around and like tucking my feet under me and then having my feet fall asleep and then I get up and I fall over because my feet are asleep. And I don't do that anymore because this chair, you just sit in it and it's just great. It's phenomenal. So thank you so much to you guys. This is not a cheap chair that has been donated. This is an overwhelming show of generosity. So thank you so much. And I feel so comfy. What else this week? So this is more of a future thing, but I am so itchy. Is that the right word? I'm itchy. I'm really itchy to get doing 3s again. I've been doing 2s. I've been doing 2s, trying to get my 10 wins every week. I've been playing with Flabby, and we've been getting up to pretty high MMR. We've been playing at 2,400 MMR in 2s for the last week or two, and that's been overwhelming. I don't feel like I'm there yet this season, but we've been doing pretty well. And I just want to do 3s, because the thing about 2s is that it's fun, but it's very slow paced because I mean it's almost always going to be healer v healer, and the games almost always go to like 50-60% dampening, and it's just like it's like a mental marathon. Whereas 3s, there's more stuff going on, but the games tend to end a little bit faster, and it feels like the decisions that you make have more weight, like the actual plays that you make, instead of giving you a 7% advantage in the game, they could actually finish the game if you make the right play. So yeah, I really want to do 3s, but I need to get my CR up a little bit. I'm playing with some people that I know before I start pugging, because the last thing I want is to go pugging at 1,500 and losing because it's a pug and then feeling bad about myself. So yeah, I really want to do 3s. I've been having a blast in skirmish week. I have this Sunday's video, actually, this Sunday's PvP video is going to be a skirmish video instead of a battleground video. I tried my hand at casting them, and maybe on stream this afternoon, maybe we'll do like viewer skirms on stream. Skirms, there's so much honor right now. With the skirmish event, you get 50% extra honor from skirmishes. And even though I've prestiged now and I've got my Alliance Enthusiast pet, I just want to keep prestiging because there's artifact appearances, there's a mount. I need everything. So yeah, I really badly want to get into PvP. And now that I'm kind of in a point with raiding where I'm just kind of showing up to raid, I'm doing my emissary, and like 1 Mythic Plus dungeon a week, I have all this extra time, and all I want to do is just pour it all into 3s and get some practice, because I really want to be not amazing, but I want to be to a point where I can feel good about myself and maybe have some friends that like value me as a member on their teams. That'll be really cool. So that's that. Questions from last week. We just have Jeff asking, what's your favorite battle pet? So I get this question every so often, but I don't really mind answering it again because sometimes my answer changes. In the past, my favorite battle pet was my green wing macaw, because that was the first one I ever got, and I had kind of an emotional attachment to it. Lately, the coastal sandpiper, which is a new wild pet they added in Legion, I am pretty convinced, and maybe it's just because I like birds, but I'm pretty convinced that it is the cutest thing that they've ever done. It's got the same skeleton as Chi-Chi, and you guys all know how much I like Chi-Chi, but it's got like a more, oh my god, you just go to your pet journal, look up the coastal sandpiper, and if you don't have one already, go get yourself one. But it's that may be my new favorite battle pet. And then strong contender for third place is the Nightmare Whelpling. I didn't get it to drop or anything. I just bought one off the auction house. But after I got my my plush Nightmare Whelpling, which you can kind of see behind my dog there, I of course had to get the in-game one, and I feel like the in-game one matches my Shadow Priest really well. I love having the Emerald or the Nightmare Whelpling out with my Shadow Priest. So first place would be the Coastal Sandpiper, followed closely by the Green Wing Macaw, and then that Nightmare Whelpling. It's good stuff. So that has been my week. If any of you have any questions you would like answered on a vlog, just leave them as comments on the most recent vlog. I hope to see a couple of you this afternoon on stream. If anybody wants to do Alliance viewer skirmishes, you can come by. I may end up doing some leveling as well. I've finally started leveling my Horde Druid. I've accepted that if I really want to get into 3s, almost all the people playing that I'm going to need to play with are on Horde, so I'm going to need at least one of each. So I've started leveling that, so maybe I'll level that a little bit on stream as well. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. Bye.